Hello and welcome to Sean Snowday Presents. My name is Sean Snowday, and we're going to go over the client onboarding and the wow factor. So creating a pleasant client onboarding and fulfillment process is crucial to the initial experience your new clients have with your business. Now, these small, quote unquote, gentle touches of value building communication pieces are essential to building a long lasting relationship with your new clients and increasing your lifetime client experience. Okay? Now, the first 3 weeks that your new client experiences with you are the most important. Why? Because surveys show that the first 21 days of becoming a client are the decision-making days. Now, this is when some of their largest and most important decisions, their assessments and judgments of you will be made based on how well you get to know their wants and needs, build the relationship, make them feel worthy, deliver great customer service, and especially how you connect with them and build value throughout the whole process. Okay, so let's take a look at a few ways we can achieve the desired goals. Now, this is a lot like dating. So, it's ask for the quick cup of coffee, go to dinner, maybe a movie, then meet the friends and family, okay? So it's really step by step by step when you're onboarding them. You're not going to go through too much. Now, we're going to be going through fulfillment and through prospecting. So let's take a look at this. The first thing you need to know is their wants and needs. Now, many times this will be what you think their wants and needs are, but you need to start somewhere, right? So we have an exercise to figure this out called the Avatar Revisited. Now, there are many avatar exercises available, but the best place to build a foundation is to write down what you think your avatar looks like, thinks like, and what you think they behave like. Now, you can go on Google and just search out avatar exercise. There's millions of them out there, but the Avatar Revisited is a little different. The Avatar Revisited is after you think you know what they want, then you drive traffic, and then you analyze who is truly buying from you. Is it a man or a woman? Are they married? Are they single? Do they own or do they rent? Well, we're going to take a look at that and through the Avatar Revisited exercise that we do in another video. But right now, let's just move forward of what it would be like. So for instance, if you sell an electronics device that helps declutter your desk from a bundle of messy cables, you may think it would be the corporate, 25 to 55-year-old hipster that has a utility belt of electronics like Batman. So you develop a campaign directed at that particular individual, and you drive traffic to it. Now, once you look at the numbers and the analytics, you realize that the people that bought were the 40-year-old women that own a home and have 2.5 kids. Now, this is what the Avatar Revisited is all about, and you can learn more about that in other videos. Now, once we find the need and a way to fulfill it, we can then move on to step number 2, which is build a relationship with your prospect. This is a lot easier than it may sound. Now, many small businesses and small business owners will get a lead, call them once, maybe 2 times, and send them an email. Now, having access to the proper tools allows the entrepreneur or the small business owner or the sales team to build relationships automatically and with persistent determination. The problem we're experiencing was investing a lot of money in leads with little or no return on that investment. So what was happening is, let's say we generated 100 leads. Every month we were losing out on 60% of the leads. We found that 20% of the leads were hot, so that would be out of 100, 20 leads were hot, 20% were not, and then 60% were on the fence. Okay, so this is another video we have called Cold Leads to Hot Prospects While You Sleep, and you'll see that somewhere in the membership site or online. So how were we going to turn this all around? Well, the first thing we needed to do was get everyone off of the manual spreadsheets and into a shareable platform that provided sales awareness for all of our employees, customer service and fulfillment included. So once we had the appropriate software, we needed to develop a process. Now, here's the thing. Your departments already have a process. Now, over the last 30 years, I've worked with Denka, Dell Computers, Gateway 2000, the last company I was a marketing director for Microsoft. But I've always written these processes, interdepartment communication and how they communicate. So you have the process already done. So if you have multiple employees, you want to ask them what their process is, or just say, hey, write down on a piece of paper what you do, then they'll give it to you, and then you'll make the manual. That's the easiest way to do it. Now, this process would have to do with the following. This is the one for prospecting, okay? You send a welcome email. Now, there's a couple different types of welcome emails that you may have. One of them is going to be the indoctrination, like welcome, this is who we are, blah, blah, blah. It's just introducing your business and your company, but they haven't purchased yet. The other indoctrination email is once they purchase, it's introducing them to everything that they purchased, okay? And that goes in through the Net Promoter Score. But back to this, we're going to send them a welcome email, and then we're going to track the sales calls. So every phone call you make, you're going to take notes on that individual prospect that you're talking with. You're going to send follow-up emails when a voicemail is left. So when you call someone and they don't answer, you're going to say, hey, I just called and left you an email, and you automatically send them an email, and in that email, it'll say, reply to this email, call me at this number, or if you have automated appointment setting software, which I think everyone should have, then they get set an appointment with you. By the way, I work with people that work by appointment and not so much e-commerce. Okay, so you track the sales calls, you make the voicemails, and then you create a process for prospects to set an appointment online. Now, once they set an appointment with you online, it usually goes through some type of funnel, or it goes to a website where you could charge them for the appointment or not. And once they set the appointment with you, and any one of you that's watching this video, I do this, that you get these reminder emails. I remind you 2 days ahead of time. I remind you the day of, hey, we have an appointment today. And sometimes I remind you the day before. And the thing is, the reason we do this is something comes up in someone's life, I want them to reply to the email and say, hey, Sean, something came up. And I get these replies all the time. Then I move forward, we reschedule, and then everyone's happy. Then if the person doesn't show up to the appointment, if they just straight stand you up or stand me up, then we want to do appointment missed emails, try to get them back online, try to lock them down, and if not, then we're going to either win or lose. If we win, that's when we send them the indoctrination as a new client, and if we lose, we just put them in long-term nurture, which is send them an email once or twice a month about our company. Now, when we're doing everything manually, we have a lot of challenges. The main one being we really have no clarity. And what I'm saying here is if our communication is cloudy, our thoughts are cloudy. So it's like standing outside of your own business and looking inside through a soapy window. I mean, we knew things were being done, we just weren't sure what was being done and who was doing it. Now, we didn't know if someone had sent a welcome email or who had followed up with it. I mean, there were multiple phone calls going out to the same prospect, and our customer service was not as efficient as we'd like for it to have been. And a matter of fact, it really wasn't that good. And it just can be very horrible at times when a client calls in with a question and it doesn't get answered. I mean, that's terms for an online report, going to Ripoff Report, going to Yelp, or going somewhere, and it just won't be good. So we want to try to avoid that, and all of our frustration and aggravation was eliminated once we automated our office. And it wasn't even difficult. All it took was a little patience, tolerance, and training. Now, this one's tricky. I don't know if you've ever been down this road, but most people have. And that's when a prospect asks for more than what you offered. Or maybe you offer more than what they asked for. I mean, one time we had a new customer that wanted to start their call at 8 a.m. Central. That's in U.S. time. Well, in the Midwest, it's 2 hours later than the West Coast. Our office opened at 8 in the morning Pacific. So not only did that particular business want to have their live call 2 hours before we even opened, the coach actually lived an hour away. So our client also was offered homework to do that they were not willing to complete. So our trainer would wake up at 4 a.m., leave his house at 5 a.m., and get on the call at 6 a.m. Pacific, 2 hours before his job even started. He went out of his way to make a difference in this small business life. And guess what? Out of the hundreds of small business owners that he helped, the ones who complained the loudest and the most were the people he went the extra mile for. So you got to be careful with this one. So going the extra mile does not mean bending to your core values or becoming so flexible it interrupts your personal life. We learned this the hard way. I mean, well, sometimes yes and sometimes no. The point is just make sure that everything you're doing is in line with your core values, your time constraints, and you honor yourself, you honor them, and you stay in integrity. So one way to go the extra mile is to add additional services or products that are unexpected in the initial purchase. We sometimes throw in an extra coaching call, help a client with a headline, but we never go out of our constraints of protocol and etiquette unless we are certain it will serve the client well. Now, the first 21 days of becoming a client are the decision-making days and should be treated as such. This is where we really need to pile on the cool. Now, there are a few things we can do to make this happen. One of the many things that my friends do is they send cookies or a handwritten postcard that makes a new client feel special and appreciated. Of course, this can be automated if your company is big enough, but you may be the type of small business, such as my business, that can send the tasty treats manually. So I just call my bakery down the street that does this. I say, hey, can you send this? They have my credit card online. They send the cookies to the client, good to go. I'm not getting 1,000 clients a day, thank God. All right? No big deal. Excuse me. Now, two of the emails you may want to send is detailing your service goals. So these are the goals we have, and these are the details, and this is what we expect from you, and this is what you should expect from us. And also overcoming their objection of not having enough time. A lot of people say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, I meant to do this, but I just don't have enough time. Another thing that people love to do is automate their out-of-office emails, okay, saying they're closed. Now, this can be a tad bit annoying when you're reaching out to a customer service department, but it is even worse when you never receive a response. So you don't want to be this company, and you don't want it to be you. If you automate, hey, I'll be in touch with you, make sure that you get in touch. And this is one of the things that will drive your customer lifetime value into the ground. So what we found to be most beneficial is to have someone either reply to the email first thing Monday morning or follow up within 24 hours during a business week. And you'll also want to have a partner or a supervisor or someone like that to oversee that these customer service requests have been attended to and answered. So one thing we like to do is drive people to our frequently asked questions page, because many times a customer service issue can be resolved by the customer themselves by reading a simple answer on our FAQs. Now, there are many ways to connect with your client, but we're going to bullet point a few for you right now. There are various vendors, so choose which one works best for you. Of course, we use Infusionsoft, and we use Wistia, Memberium, and other technologies. And with these, we can send emails. We can do appointment scheduling. We use Appointment Core. We also have Schedule Once. Texting with Fix Your Funnel or Mobit. There's other technologies out there to where you can do texting. Now, again, you want to make sure, do your clients want to receive a text or not? Some people do, some people don't. Okay, processing the lead, and how does the lead get processed? What I have is I have a business card input and update program where if I meet someone and they give me their business card, I take a picture of it, and within 5 minutes they're getting an automated email and they're already in my automated campaign. We'll go over that more on a one-on-one if you want to know more about it. You can automate your faxing, direct mail, website visitors. One thing about Infusionsoft is they actually have what's called a pixel, and you put this on your website, and you can see the behavior that people are doing, how many times they've been to your website, and you can communicate with them different ways. The more they access your website, the more you can communicate with them. Okay. Now, long-term nurture is more than nurturing a client or prospect long-term. It's about building value and having a call to action in every touch. Now, one thing we do is ask for our prospects to set an appointment with us. Yes, in every email, and it isn't creepy or spammy. It is just simple. Now, remember, you have this thing that we spoke about in another video, and if not, you can watch other videos and learn about the inner consumer. And the inner consumer is the person that says, I would never want to be marketed to that way, so I would never do that. But what we do is we ask them to set an appointment with us in every email. So if you'd like to learn more about that, you can go ahead and watch our video that has to do with the inner consumer. There are warnings about it, but we do have a link in there. And here's the thing. We ask for the appointment sometimes in the body of the email, but always in the PS. We put a PS and we build more value in the PS, and then we end with, if you'd like to learn more, if you'd like to know more about this or whatever, reply to this email, call this number, or click here to set an appointment with us. And I even have people, I write an email that builds a lot of value with one particular individual. They may not even be a client. They forward it to their friend. Their friend reads it, they see the link, they click, they set an appointment with us. Our sales team takes the call, qualifies them, they become a client, we just got a lead for free. So every single one of your communication techniques should have some type of call to action set to it. Another way to connect is through webinars and live events. Now, these take a little bit more effort and know-how, but once the ball starts rolling and you build a fan base, you will see business growth. Now, remember to build value for your customers and make it about them and not about you, and all will be well. I'll give you an example about the events and why they take a little bit more effort and a little bit more know-how. Is a good friend of mine who actually has 500 employees. He just had an event. Now, he's had many events, but he did these new events. He's just crushing it in another country. He had an event just recently, and what he told me was his very first event is his people, they were going to have tablecloths. You know, I hate saying cloths, right? But they put out the tablecloths, and they washed them the night before, and then dried them, and then folded them. And when they put them out, all of the tablecloths were wrinkled. Okay, so what they learned from their first event, as small as it may be, iron all the tablecloths. So you need to wash them in advance, iron them, fold them nicely, and then when they rolled them out, they looked gorgeous and beautiful. But they didn't know that until their second event. They had to have a breakdown. So it's okay to go through that. Just realize that there is a little bit more effort, a little bit more know-how, and you're going to want to have a checklist going through all that. And the last thing is a little ninja trick that I thought of. You don't really have to do it, but it's this thing that we do that I don't see other people doing. It's using a Facebook post as your chat room rather than having people chat in the webinar. So this will build social proof, and you can connect comments to your website. This is for people that are a little bit more ninja in their technical build, but this will show your visitors that you're engaged with others in a powerful way. So you can also pin posts with a call to action for your visitors. So this will provide the next step required for your prospects to engage with you further. Remember, always be engaging. And I just want to share something with you about this. When you're running a webinar, there's a chat room in the webinar, and people can go in there and chat and ask questions. If you tell all the people on your webinar, rather than chatting here, go to this Facebook page, give them the link, and in a particular post, they can just type all their questions in there. Okay? Now as they're typing their questions in there, rather than having 52 comments, you're going to have 1,152 comments on this one post. Okay, so then what happens is people are engaging, and you're getting a lot of questions asked, and a lot of energy in there. And then what you can do is when you make a lead page or a ClickFunnels, and you connect that particular Facebook page or Facebook post within that landing page, it's going to have 1,100 comments on it. And that's going to show more social proof than just having 52 comments on it. So that's one way to build that up really fast. Okay, so remember, you can always pin posts with a call to action for your visitors, but another thing is you can put it into a landing page so people can see the social proof of people engaging with you, and this will provide the next step required for your prospects to engage even further. Okay, so remember, always be engaging. Again, my name is Shone. This is Shone Snowday Presents, and I'm here to make a powerful difference in your life and your business so you can be with the people you love, sleep at night, and have peace of mind.